So Caitlin Clark was, well, I was going to say front and center, but relative, just in the building, just in general. She was in the building to watch the Pacers dismantle Giannis Antetokounmpo and friends. And yes, that's what I'm going to call the Milwaukee Bucks right now, because this is 2018 Cavs. This is 2006 Smush Parker Los Angeles Lakers. This is the freaking I'm trying to think of like any carry jobs. This is Kevin Durant trying to carry the Bruce Brown at center Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie and James Harden. This was a crazy one. But Caitlin Clark, front-ish and center at the old game. Not only that, the Indiana Fever head coach is there going on commentary. And there's a lot of funny things. There's a lot of good things we saw from this. And again, I do apologize for any shadows and stuff in the background. I am currently in my grandparents in the edge of nowhere in Ireland. Like you get to the middle of nowhere, then you drive for an hour to the edge of nowhere. And like the next town over, you're in America. Like it's that type of thing. It's if you want to go further west, it's a 7-hour flight to get to another town. Entire ocean. But yeah. Anyway, sorry about the slow uploads and the not great quality and everything. I couldn't bring my full setup or even a temp setup with me. So anyway, it was a good thing to see. Caitlin Clark supporting the Pacers. This is before the game tip-off. They're immediately showing Caitlin Clark. And one thing I actually do like about this is that Caitlin Clark she is wearing the free t-shirt she got. She's literally wearing the free t-shirt. And again, to be fair, if you've been at basketball games, you've done that. Like I went as a complete neutral. To WNBA Finals Game 3. I'm now an honorary freaking Lynx fan. You wear the free t-shirt. Still have that in my office. We'll put that on for a couple of games. But you can see here straight away, waving with kids in her jersey. Straight away, I know one of them is definitely Stephanie White's kid. In that same box, is it Stephanie White's kid? Yeah, I don't know if they're all Stephanie White's kids. It seems like Caitlin Clark is an honorary Stephanie White kid at this stage. But yeah, obviously Stephanie White's kids are all super excited about, the Pacers and being on the screen. And also, in fairness, super excited about the Indiana Fever. And that is a big, big thing. And that's one of the things that obviously you've seen with this. There's Stephanie White getting a huge cheer. A massive cheer. I've never heard them cheer for a commentator like that. And is there anything else? No, they are bookmarks for other videos in future. But yeah, so obviously, this is a big thing. It is a big thing, and again, it just shows just the overall hype. And from again, one of the things that I always hear from people in Indiana is that the Fever are now talked about in the same breath as the Pacers. They're talked about at the same prestige as the Pacers in the media. The way they talk about the Fever is the way they talk about the Pacers. And they're the Fever was barely considered a pro sports team in Indiana prior to Caitlin Clark. And it was even when they had Leah Boston. It was barely considered a pro sports team. And that is just such a big, big thing for the city of Indiana. And we've seen all the stuff that Indiana not only is trying to push this Fever team and Caitlin Clark, they're trying to push that as the women's sports city. That's literally what the Fever are trying to push themselves as, is the women's sports city, and not just, this is our team. It's going to be, okay, all of the big women's sports teams. We're going to have so many big teams in Indiana. They're probably, I don't know if there already is one, or they're probably going to try to get an NWSL team. They're going to really push for that. And it's weird seeing the amount of negativity towards what Caitlin Clark has brought to the sport, when the reality has been nothing but positive things to the sport. It's been nothing but positive to the city of Indiana. It's been nothing but positive to the WNBA. Some people that just don't like Caitlin Clark Not Caitlin Clark the person. They just don't like Caitlin for whatever reason they don't. Whatever reason, Caitlin isn't who they wanted to be the face of the WNBA. Didn't feel like Caitlin represented the old fans of the WNBA, who were mostly, I'm not going to finish that sentence, because I do believe that a lot of the Caitlin Clark haters hate her for that reason. But I'm not gonna accuse anyone of anything, to be honest, because I always give the when it's something that serious, I always give the benefit of the doubt, unless they say it, unless they literally say it. There's like I can't remember, somebody actually did say, unless someone says it, then I always give benefit of the doubt. But no, good thing to see. Good thing to see. And for the city of Indiana, your Pacers are a pretty damn good team. A pretty damn good team. And albeit that is, Kyle Kuzma makes $13,000 per NBA minute today. He made $29,000 to put up the exact same stat line as me. Man, Kyle Kuzma. I feel bad for Kyle Kuzma. He's just not great at basketball now, is he? Like, through no fault of his own is he getting his money. Through no fault of his own did they trade Chris Middleton for him. But Kyle Kuzma's just not very good. But again, we're seeing Stephanie White obviously calling the game for ESPN. We're seeing Caitlin Clark there in the box as basically almost like a freaking guest of honor for the Pacers, and that big of a deal. And you've seen it when Colson was at a game, she's front row. When Dewana Bonner is at a game, she's front row. When Hull's there, they're front row, and they're being treated like celebrities, these players, and because they are. They might not be paid like it salary-wise, but the vast majority of these players, like I would say in the bonuses they get, yeah, their salary might be $80K, but when you take into account charter flights and you take into account, realistically, free tickets worth $5-10 grand for games, just all the other free stuff, all the other amenities, the free access to a freaking private gym, the individual coaching hours, I would say the cost, like per player, you're making $1 million per player as far as cost for the team per player. So it might not be in salary, but in all the other things. So hopefully the salaries eventually do catch up, and at least for members of the Fever, it's not the end of the world, because with all of this going on, Stephanie White definitely got paid handsomely for this engagement right here. All the other players on the Fever, if they're likable, they're going to be getting so much in brand deals. And all in all, that's pretty much it, lads. That is pretty much it. So yeah, Caitlin Clark spotted at the Indiana Pacers game today. And you know what? Just like the Caitlin Clark effect with the Iowa basketball team, they won the vast majority of games. Caitlin Clark was, did they? I think they might have actually been 500 with Caitlin Clark there. But they beat USC, which is a big thing. The Pacers have gone and won with Caitlin Clark in attendance. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.